Creighton advances to the Big East final against St. John after beating UConn 71 to 62. Um, Great game from Jemiah Neal in this one. He started off hot with a quick, 9 points. I want to say he scored on assist in the first 11 points of the game. Um, Hot start from him. Um, Real good game back and forth between the two teams, but ultimately Creighton pulled away and got the win here. Um, they led by as much as 17 at one point. So, but yeah. Great game by Creighton. Um, Decent game by UConn, but not enough to get the win here. Um, Tariq, what are your thoughts on this one?
Um, Creighton shot the lights out in the first half. I mean,
Mm,
75% shooting at halftime. They ended up shooting 52%. They shot like maybe close to 30% for a lot of the second half. Every time they showed their second half percentage, it was like 27, 28, 25. I don't know what it ended up being because they ended up making some shots down the stretch. So it probably ended up being around 30 in the second half, but 75% in the first half is tough to beat. Um, UConn shot 46% in the first half, which isn't bad at all. It's actually really good. And then, um, yeah, Jermaine Neal had 10 points early. Um, Jason Green was 7 of 7 in the first half, had 15 points. So combined, in the first half, Jason Green and Jermaine Neal had 28 points. And I think they had, see what they had at halftime. They had 46 at halftime. So 28 of the 46, more than half the points. And then we get to the second half, and looks like Creighton might start to pull away. UConn starts to make a run. They go on the 12-0 run, about a 3 minute span, like 12 minutes left in the second half. Then after that, they kind of slow down on the run. It becomes like a 14-2 run over like a 6, 7 minute span. So like UConn was there, but they couldn't get over that hump after Mahaney hit the three to cut it to 5. Then there was two calls back to back that they called off of UConn that were clearly off of Kalkbrenner. One of them, he got his shot blocked at the rim. Terrence Reed was actually phenomenal in this game, especially in the second half. There was a block that was on Kalkbrenner, went off his hands because that's the natural motion that it happens. If somebody blocks it into your hands and it goes out of bounds, it's the defensive ball. They called it Creighton basketball. That was one moment where Dan Hurley almost lost it.
yep,
Then
take his
they come
glasses
right
off.
back down. Then they come right back down the other side. Kalkbrenner knocks it out of bounds, and they call Creighton ball again, and it's going the other way. Um, so that's back-to-back calls that changed the game because as soon as they came down, Jemiah Neal hit a three, cut the lead back to 6. Um, and I feel like that might have been the difference. Um, just because UConn, while they had made a run, they were still struggling to get like there. Like I feel like if they had tied the game, this game ends up differently. Obviously they weren't able to do that. Solo Ball was good in the minutes he played. He only played 26 minutes. He sat for a good bit in the second half. I was a little confused by that. They played Aiden Mahaney 15 minutes. He made two threes. Alex Caravan wasn't very good offensively. He had 4 fouls, shot 3 of 10. Liam McNeely tried his best. He was 6 of 20. Um, Samson Johnson, they gave him 2 points. And then when you look at Creighton side, Stephen Ashford gave him 12. Kalkbrenner gave him 12. Jemiah Neal gave him 19. Jason Green gave him 19. So when you look at things like that, it helps them. And the 8 minute mark in the first half, Ryan Carpenter had only had one shot attempt. By the end of the first half, he had 4 points and he was 2 of 3 shooting. The fact that they were able to win this game with him not having to like affect the game in a crazy way. He only had 4 rebounds and he had one block. So he didn't affect the game numbers wise. Um, but just him being on the court obviously is impact enough. Now I will say there was some controversy at the end of this game
Oh
with
yeah, I was waiting to talk about it.
Jemiah Neal going to dunk the ball.
How you feel about that?
Samson,
as a
Win the game.
hooper,
Win the
as
game.
you
Win
got
the
no
game.
problem with the late game bucket, the late game dunk? The game
No,
is
go win
decided?
the game. Win the game. You can't be mad. You lost.
Exactly.
You
I
lost.
see no
I don't
problem
know.
with it.
I don't really understand that. Like as somebody who coaches basketball, I tell my kids not to shoot the ball at the end because it's basketball, it's sportsmanship. I tell them not to shoot the ball. But if someone were to shoot on the other side, I'm not about to kirk out on the kids or no college kid and be like, "Hey man, what's wrong with you? Like, why would you do that?"
Yeah.
Now I will say next time we see them, we busting their ass.
Yeah.
I'll say that. Like,
Yeah.
oh, that's what we doing. Remember that.
And you
Because
gotta come down to that.
when the shoe's on the other foot, I don't want to hear nothing from your side. That's how
Exactly.
I would look at it.
Yeah.
Now, DR took offense to it. It's just normal. We see that almost
Bro
every time that
squared
happens
up.
at the end of a game. He can't push, bro. And I was glad that Jemai Neal didn't do nothing because that would have messed
Yeah.
up the championship game tomorrow.
But he got a
Um,
tech.
yeah, but he didn't get ejected or he didn't
No, he
throw a
didn't get
punch. If he would
ejected,
have
but
threw a
he the
punch,
one
he
that
wouldn't have
got
been
the
able to play
tech.
tomorrow.
Exactly.
Yeah, they both got text.
Yeah.
It was a
Oh,
double tech.
really? I thought it was just
Yeah,
a
it was a double
second
tech.
one. Okay.
That was a double tech. I mean, if anything, it would have been on DR. DR was the one that actually pushed him. So
He pushed him and squared up. It
Neil
was like, yo,
just,
what's up?
yeah, yeah. Um,
Like, yeah, win the
yeah.
game, bro.
And in situations like that, man, just win the game. I know emotions are high on both sides.
Yeah. Big
Creighton
East
is excited. They're
tournament.
about to go to a championship game.
Yeah.
They're 0-4 in championship games coming into this. They're excited, man. Like it happens. Whatever. Go
And
shake the hands.
it's not like
If
you
the
guys
shoe was
are
on the
against
other
the
foot,
tournament.
Creighton would be mad.
Yeah.
UConn would feel the same way. Like
Yeah.
it is what it is. It's basketball at the end of the day. Most of them 22, 21 years old. Like
Yeah.
you'll be all right. It's basketball. I'm sure
Yeah.
UConn fans will
It's
disagree with
not
me,
like
but
they
it don't
lost a
matter.
bid or either team lost a bid in this. Like UNC
Yeah.
might have tonight. But yeah, nah, yeah, both teams are going to the big dance. And yeah, just take care of business, UConn. That's it. Like you ain't gotta worry about that, bro. But yeah, definitely
Yeah.
interesting ending to this one. An exciting ending. But I think Cartburner was very good down the stretch and has shown game after game why he's one of the best bigs in the nation. Um, not the craziest game from him though, but just it's like the timing in which he made his points tonight, you know? Like we say it all the time in college basketball, at least me and you do. Like every possession matters in college basketball. And so Creighton made the most of their possessions. UConn didn't. Um, I think Creighton did a good job defensively all night as well. It's just really Jemiah Neal setting the tone for the whole game. That start was just ridiculous. Like rolled them up for the first 9 points of the game. So
Yeah,
even he hit some
my
big
agenda
shots in
looks
the
good
strip.
right now.
Yeah. I say
It didn't look
you
so
are the
great yesterday.
Jemiah Neal truther.
Yeah, he struggled yesterday against
Yeah.
DePaul. So I was like, hey man, need you to make me look better. And he
Yeah.
did today. So um he definitely came out and did what he was supposed to do. If you're UConn, how do you feel losing today and going into the tournament?
It's like a reality check, really. Um, just feel like losing to Creighton, a team in which you guys have had battles throughout the years, throughout the season actually. Um, if I'm not mistaken, they split their season series. So
1-1.
yeah. So definitely a team. It's not like outright they should have won this. I mean, they're a favorite to win this game, but it wasn't like it was an outright win for them headed into this game. It's not like it was an upset here. But I don't know. This UConn team has just been up and down all season, bro. Like this team hasn't looked like the team that we thought they would have been going into the season. They don't look like the two-time defending champs. Um, they just I don't know, just kind of regressed a little bit. So I feel like going into March or in March, going into the big tournament, I feel like they just need to go ahead and focus on their strengths, um, clean up some things on offense in terms of their flow. Um, and really just take each matchup one game at a time. I mean, I feel like they can make it to an Elite Eight. maybe. But I mean, I feel like that's I don't want to say their ceiling, but I feel like that's as far as they go, in my opinion, is the Elite Eight. I won't be surprised if they make it past the Elite Eight. I'll be shocked if they don't get to the Elite Eight, but I don't have them winning the championship this year. So that's just how I view UConn.
Um, for me, I feel like they've played better over the last month or so.
Mm-hmm.
They beat Marquette,
Mm-hmm.
they beat Creighton.
Mm-hmm.
They lost a close game to St. John's at their crib. They lost both games to St. John's.
Yep.
Um, and they beat Villanova, and then they beat Marquette again at home. Beat Villanova in the quarterfinal. Um, I feel like once they got Leah McNeely back, they got back to themselves. But Caravan hasn't been shooting the ball well as of late.
Mm-hmm.
Um, they need him to shoot the ball better. But I feel like you feel good with what almost everyone else is giving you. Um, like solo ball has been great shooting the ball all season. Lee McNeely, you know that he's going to be, um, a great shot creator for you. Um, I mean, Oscar Brown went 3 of 10 tonight. He went 5 of 9 against Villanova, which isn't bad at all. 5 of 8 against Seton Hall, 6 of 13, 6 of 13, 5 of 11, 5 of 11, 2 of 6. Um, just a little uncharacteristic for him, I feel like. It just feels like he hasn't had as many games this season where it just feels like he's Alex Caravan. Like there are games where he just feels like he's just out there, and if he makes shots, he makes shots, but he hasn't impacted the game the way he has in past years. In my opinion, I could be wrong. Maybe people disagree. It is what it is. That's just how I feel. Um, and then Hassan Diarra, I know he's been dealing with an injury, but I feel like they need a little bit more from him just in terms of consistency. He had 11 and 6 today, which isn't bad, but um, I just feel like he went 3 of 4, but then there was times in the second half where he was shying away from shooting the ball, and it was the same thing that I was saying that Creighton was doing yesterday, where they were getting to certain spots and they just wouldn't shoot the ball. That's kind of what he was doing. He was getting to a spot where he had a shot and he wouldn't shoot it, which was kind of confusing to me. But all in all, this is a very talented team. The offense is always going to be high powered. It's just going to come down to shot making, and I trust their shot making ability and their coaching ability in March more than a lot of teams,
Mm-hmm.
just because there are teams that I've trusted in the past 4 to 5 years and have been let down, or I wouldn't say have been let down, but ended up looking silly.
Yeah.
So I'm not
You can say
choosing.
let
I'm
down.
not. Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna throw UConn under the bus totally.
Mm-hmm.
I think they'll take this couple of days off, get ready, and then I think they go in. I think this loss helps them go in more motivated, if anything, in my opinion.
Yeah, but shout out to Creighton, big one for them. As they move on to the Big East final against St. John, which will be a hell of a matchup. Definitely looking forward to that. Um, yeah, what you call it? We'll be previewing and recapping that Big East final game here on the Sleepers Media YouTube channel. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe.